Past 8.
The Radio Wammo Breakfast.
The view from Airial Al's place.
Let's take a look with Airial Al today. What window are we looking out this morning?
The one towards the sea, as per usual, Wammo, and what a beautiful sunrise it was. I must admit, as the days are getting shorter, the sunrises become more what's the word for it? They become more frequent due to the fact that you're up and about and you're looking at them.
More frequent, yes. The sun does rise every day.
It does rise. It's just a matter of, during summer, you
Seeing
can
it.
be bothered getting up at like 5:30 in the morning to watch the sun come up.
Oh, you're right. So, I tell you what, it's also really nice because if you're commuting by plane, which a lot of people do, to see those sunrises from the aircraft as well.
This is true. And but you can see those sunrises depending on what time you want to commute.
Yep.
Look,
It's perfectly reasonable.
But commuting wasn't very popular on the roads this weekend, Wammo.
What? No, it wasn't.
There was terrible tragedies going on there, and speed and young people again seems to be the one of the reasons that this is going on. But it's what happens when we drive cars, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, not good though, and other tragedies out there as well. Well, it seems to be a tragic weekend, and this in the Gulf of Mexico, and this oil rig that's basically blown up, and there's 5,000 barrels a day is surging into the Gulf of Mexico.
I think it's more than that.
Is it?
Oh, probably.
Can you quickly Twitter and see what's going on there? We'll get accurate.
Yeah. Yep.
And of course, but there's good things on the horizon. There's no doubt about it. We're in the month of May. We're in the month of New Zealand Music Week.
We are.
And you'd be finding it very hard to find content there at Kiwi FM, wouldn't you?
Pretty difficult.
Can you imagine some of those stations out there? They're like, what's the New Zealand music sound? Well, why don't we play this and this and this again and again and again?
Why don't we play some of this Crowded House?
Oh, Crowded House. Jeepers, now there we
go. Let's roll Dave out for another month.
Exactly. We'll let it go. Oh, excuse me for a second. Bye, Roman. Have a great day at school. See you later.
See ya.
There you go. See you later. He started. This is his first ever Monday at school, right? Because he started last Tuesday, and now he's off. So this is his first ever Monday. Can you imagine how exciting that is?
Golly gosh.
Yeah, it's all.
He's going to learn to hate Mondays for the rest.
He'll learn to hate them, and he's all excited. He's off to assembly. Well, there we go. There's the toot. There's Mrs. L. See you later. Jeepers, family's gone. Turn the coffee machine back on.
Hey, put your feet up.
Exactly. Put your feet up and pretend you went to work. Hey, but I went to Aussie last week, Wammo.
Oh, yeah?
I went off to the land of milk and honey.
And what were you doing there?
I was doing a few business trip. But also over there, I've got a goddaughter. That's someone who's decided that they want me to be a positive influence in their child's life.
Oh.
But I was
what does that involve?
And it was quite good. So I went along to school to see little Indy, who's my little girl. She's 5, and went along to pick her up from school, and of course go and have an ice cream and buy a charm bracelet and do all those things that godfathers do.
Yeah.
And I was standing outside the class looking through the square window.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden this Australian teacher would goes, "Oh, you must be the godfather. Are you the godfather?" And I was like, "Godfather? That sounds good. I like that."
It does sound good.
I've never been called the godfather before.
Yeah.
That had a good wing for it. So I went in there and hung out in the Australian classroom with all the twanging Aussie kiddies, and then hung out with little Indy, and we did have a good ice cream on the beach on a I think it was on a Thursday afternoon, and there we were, and went for the swim in the 24-degree water.
Oh wow! Oh, so is this Queensland or something? Is it?
No, this is Manly, mate.
Oh wow!
Manly. Right. It's just the weather was just superb, and the water was hot, and I was like, oh my god, these guys just don't know how lucky they are.
Yeah.
And so it was good. I'm into the godfather thing. There's no doubt about it. Are you a godparent of any description?
I am actually.
Oh, well, there you go. Who's your lucky infant?
My nephew.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
But on the other side of the world.
Oh, really?
So he's got a long trip to get there.
Well, there we go. There's something else we have in common.
Yeah.
We're in a situation where we both have godchildren that live in other overseas.
It's hard to be the godfather on the other side of the world.
Yeah, it would be, but but the thing is, it's not about now. It's about in the future when they decide their parents are complete gits and they need to turn to someone that they can actually, say something about their parents.
Yeah,
is that how it all works?
That's right, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, but I did do. I went to a sales seminar over there. This guy called Frank. And he actually came up, and he was quite a good salesman actually. But he came up with a quote that stuck in my brain every and perhaps people can use it for the rest of the week and see how it all goes. But he was talking about how people get influenced and everything, and everyone has views. But he came up with this one. He says, if you don't stand for something, you're gonna fall for anything. And I thought that was quite a good one, Wammo.
Don't stand for something, you're going to fall for anything.
Exactly.
If you're an empty shell, an empty vessel.
Yeah, you can be filled up for what's going on. And he reckons that if at least you've got a view on something, well, then you can go along with that view and either positively reinforce it, or you can be open to objections to bring it into places, potentially change it.
Well, there's a thought for the week.
Yeah, how about that one?
Yeah, nice one. And, and here's another thought. 200,
okay, well, I'm sitting down.
210,000 gallons. So I don't know what that is in barrels.
Oh, I think a barrel is 50 gallons.
Okay, you do the math.
Dude, I was never good at math. That's why they invented iPhones, because they got calculators on them.
Yeah.
I'm sure you can get on. You can get while you're online there. You can just go to your conversion rate and pull that one out anyway.
Yeah, you know what? I think who's saying this? Coast Guard Commandant Thad Allen called the bid to shut down a well spewing at least 210,000 gallons of oil a day from nearly a mile underneath the ocean surface is one of the most complex things we've ever done. He went on to say that in a worst-case scenario, the well could vent 4.2 million gallons of oil into the Gulf daily.
Oh, my goodness me. So, but I was thinking about this, and perhaps that guy on who does World's Greatest Fixes, on National Geographic, have you seen that program where the guy where something major breaks? I reckon they should give him a call, because I'm not quite sure how you plug a well.
Well, they're thinking about lowering these big containers down on top of the wellheads, and then with a pipe connected to the end of them.
Okay, so you've been sussing this one out. Well, tell me, because I do want to be informed.
Well, so that's one scenario. Another one, they've got some robots at the moment fumbling around doing nothing.
Yeah, blind robots, obviously. Yeah, I doubt they could see much.
No. Yeah. Black, oil is black after all.
It is black.
But basically, BP have caused a complete shambles. Let's be honest.
Can you imagine their insurance company at the moment?
Well, can they be insured for something like this?
Oh, they'll be.
I wouldn't be insuring it.
Everyone's insured.
I wouldn't be insured.
Their insurance company at the moment would be just freaking out, looking through every bit of fine print possible about what do we do when it actually goes on fire and then it spills and then because of course it'll be an American company that's their insurance company, and then they'll be the one that's all up in arms, and of course the government will be just looking down their shoulder like, oh, we got you on this one, buddy.
Hey, and just on a similar note, how proud were you of New Zealanders on the weekend?
Oh, I'm always proud of New Zealanders, mate.
What about those New Zealanders marching up Queen Street?
Oh, I didn't Google that one, mate. What happened?
Close to 40,000 New Zealanders, they reckon.
Oh God, that's got to be a good cause.
It's mining or anti-mining.
Oh, thank goodness for that. Thank goodness for that. People are making a stand where they're standing for something, Wammo.
Well, finally, something that galvanises people into action in New Zealand. Not since probably marches against Vietnam.
What?
Probably not since marches against Vietnam have we seen so many people up Queen Street.
I tell you what, there's one thing that winds me up. You know how dairy farmers wind you up, Wammo?
Yeah.
Well, I tell you what, mining winds me up.
That winds you up?
Not only for the reason that it's a state-owned enterprise and they're out there, buddy, tearing up national parks and bits and pieces and telling everyone it's okay. And what do we stand for as far as a green nation? If there's one thing that the government really have to get their head around and pulling the wool over our eyes is going and pulling all these natural resources when we're the biggest country in the world that can become self-sufficient on whatever we've got. We've got lakes and dams and wind and everything else. But oh no, we've got to pull that coal out of the ground and ship it off to China.
And people, exactly. And people might say this whole deal with the BP thing, it's a different scale, different place. Well, BP, I'm sure, went to the Gulf and said, no, this will be fine. Precision
BP
point.
Handing the government the cheque to go and do more research so they can sell them a bit more coal.
Exactly.
It's an absolute farce. Yeah. If there's a politician listening at the moment, I'll probably have someone knocking on my door today.
So in a full circle, you've got, what is it? You've got an opinion?
Yep, no. If you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything.
There we go. Thanks very much.
Stick with that one.
Cheers. That is Airial L, and here is Pig Out. This is called RX4 Kiwi.